With a forever increasing global population, we are pushing the Earth to the limits regarding resources. This is why we need to learn to consume in a more sustainable way. We examine the 90032 zip code to see how people consume sustainably by conserving water, using public transportation and recycling. Using Simply Maps, we found that average expenditure in our zip code on water is $550 compared to the surrounding neighbourhood households that spend $750 to $900 on average.
As you can see, here's one of the banners that the school decided to place in order to promote brown is the new green, and you can even see that there's not a lot of green here, and it's okay. So where can all that reusable water go? Well, in the grass behind me, especially with the drought here in California, this school has implemented the brown is the new green, and what that actually means is that it's okay for your lawn to be brown, and you don't have to waste that much water, especially since we're in a very severe drought and the school is doing its part.
Another reason our zip code may use water less than the surrounding areas is because our zip code has a lower average household income. Hamilton states in his journal that water use increases with income and education. Hopefully, promoting brown as the new green encourages people to conserve even more water.
Right behind me is the water tower here at Cal State LA. We have a pretty good sized campus, so here's where all of it is stored. The water tower holds over 1 million gallons of water and is used daily throughout the campus. We also have recently installed water filters, which help conserve water and plastic in the school and in the community.
Cal State LA has really set the standard for water conservation in our zip code. With all the water conservation efforts they have implemented, it shows that they really understand the seriousness of the drought situation. When an institution as big as Cal State LA sets an example, it encourages the general population and the students to follow. As you can see, all these areas on campus are grass areas, but due to Cal State LA's commitment to water conservation, they have been left to turn brown. Now look at the household lawns in our zip code, and you can see the same situation. This shows how our zip code conserves more water than the average zip code in the US. Transportation is a huge issue in California, with increases in pollution, traffic and accidents. Public transportation is used frequently to get around the city, which has nearly 200 bus lines like the metro we just saw, and 6 rail lines. As you can see from the cars in the school car park, the amount of cars on the road in LA is very high. This makes travelling slow. This may explain why our zip code has such a high number of people using public transport, 21 to 100% of the population in the last 30 days. It is actually a quicker and cheaper alternative to get to school and work. The bus system spans all the way from San Bernardino to Santa Monica. Public transport use in 2015 for our zip code was 7% higher than the US average. With bus stops and a Metrolink system located on the south of campus, you can understand why. Accessibility is a very important factor for our consumers. In fact, our zip code in 2016 spent between $938 to $4,380 per household on public transport. This is much higher than the surrounding areas. This purple bus that you can see is El Sol, which charges 25 cents a ride and was implemented to help low-income families. With an average income per year $10,000 less than the US average, public transport helps people travel and, more importantly, encourages sustainable consumption. An estimated 30 million people took the bus in LA during 2014. There is an abundance of public transport stops in this zip code, and they are always very vibrant and busy with people. We believe that the ease of access contributes greatly to our zip code's sustainable consumption of public transport. Here you can see just how effective the public transport system is in our zip code. A Metrolink train and a bus arrive simultaneously. Our zip code really has a rich variety of public transport to choose from, which further encourages consumers in the zip code to consume sustainably.
Every day, hundreds of people in the Los Angeles area are making a great effort to reduce their waste and, more importantly, recycle. Recycling is a way for individuals to make a positive impact on the environment. According to some recent studies, the Los Angeles area was ranked as the top recycler in the nation. Those reports later stated that Los Angeles had a better recycling rate than San Jose, San Diego, New York, and Chicago. The green trash bin is for green waste, such as yard trimming to keep it out of our landfills. The blue bin is for recycling things such as plastic, newspaper, cardboard, aluminum cans, and glass bottles. As we focus on the demographic variables in the Los Angeles zip code 90032, we observed that the areas with higher percentage rate on recycling were houses that had different colored trash bins, such as black, green, and blue, where the black bin was for non-organic waste. Meanwhile, the green and blue bins are for environmental purposes. On average, 55% of people recycle plastic beverage containers in our area. This is compared to the surrounding areas, which is a lot less.
Our recommendations for water conservation in our zip code include data monitoring of water usage that would be available to all users to see how much water they are using on a daily basis. Also, we would like to implement a schedule for when and how often you can water your lawns that all residents have to follow. Our recommendations for public transport in our zip code is to keep improving the public transport infrastructure to try and meet and surpass industry standards, such as the public transport systems in Europe, providing even cleaner and efficient transport to encourage even more sustainable consumption.
Our recommendations for our zip code is to have recycling containers for apartment complexes too, not just for individual households.